Good morning everybody, Cam back here with my new bike. The day's finally come where I can pick it up. It's been quite a few weeks waiting for it, and yesterday I thought I nearly wasn't going to have it today, but it all worked out in the end. I shall explain why as I get moving. Oh, it's good to be on my new bike. I'm glad I'm going this way, not that way, looking at that traffic. I was going to go that way, but they've closed the road and everything's a bit of a mess. I don't come to Hull very often, so I didn't even know they'd done that. It's a place I like to avoid. I don't like cities. I've been excited the last few weeks. It's been a long few weeks waiting for this bike to be ready so that I could actually pick it up and go for a ride. And I've been excited like a schoolboy. And I'm sure some people have thought it's a bit weird how excited I've been, because I've already got them saying we've already got a Z1000, why would a 500cc be as exciting? And it's not really about the speed of the bike or anything like that. It's not about the bike itself, it's about what the bike will allow me to do that I can't do with the Z1000, and that's mainly about Mrs. C. Allow me to take Mrs. C for a long ride. Since we got knocked off and the old one got written off, we've not really been able to do those long rides where you go for a good day out. Maybe go and do 150 miles to get somewhere, 150 miles back. Mrs. C on the Z1000 is more of a 20 miles rider, or pillion really, not rider obviously. She doesn't ride. And even after 20 miles she finds it difficult to get on and off the bike because it's so compact and the seat is so hard, so it's not comfortable, and you're squished up with your knees bent at a funny angle when you're sat on the pillion seat. And after 20 miles she's really had enough. And the fact is that this one has got a much comfier seat. The pegs are further away so she's not as squashed up, and with the top box on she's got a backrest so she'll feel a lot more secure on it as well. So with luck we'll be doing some good rides, head over to the Lake District, that kind of thing. That's the other side of the country for those who don't know, to where I live. In terms of me thinking I might not get it today, that was an interesting one. Being ultra cautious, probably over cautious, I had to pay for the bike, obviously. They wouldn't let me have it for free. I had to pay for the bike, and it said at least 24 hours before you pick it up. So yes, I had to pay for it 24 hours in advance. And I knew I was going to be picking up today, probably about 10 o'clock. So I thought I'll pay for it yesterday, pay for it on the Friday because it's Saturday today. As long as I pay for it before 10 o'clock I'm good. So I thought kind of 7:30 in the morning, let's get this thing paid for before I start work. So I got on my banking app and I put in all the payment details and pressed the send money button, and it just said no, I'm not doing that, you can only transfer up to £2,000. I thought that's awkward, so that's okay, I'll do it on the web. So I've just quickly got on my laptop, fired up the website, found out what the transfer limit was, and it was £50,000. That's not really a problem to me. I don't have £50,000 to transfer, but it was more than obviously a lot more than this bike cost. So I thought, great. So I type in all my details. It said, yep, you just need to verify who you are. Go onto your app. Press the identify button, type in your magic number into the website, and we'll transfer the money. So I went onto the app, did the magic number, typed into the website, and it said that's not the magic number. I compared it very carefully on screen, and it definitely was. I thought, oh, something weird's going on here. So I thought, all right, I'll try again. It says, try again. So I click the button on the web page to try again. It says put in your magic number. Got a new magic number off the app, and it said that's the wrong number too. Now 3 times and you're out, I believe. I didn't want anything started to get locked up on my account. So I couldn't pay. I thought, that's awkward, so I waited until a little bit later on when the bike shop was open, and I gave them a call. This is Miles Kingsport in Hull, and I'll say the name because this is good service, I think, and good service needs to be shouted about and applauded. So I rang them up and I said, look, this is what's happened. I can come in tomorrow and give you the cash, but obviously it's not 24 hours ahead, or I could try a debit card tomorrow. But the transfer's just not working. I'm really sorry, but you know, is that going to be okay? And he said, it turns out it's the managing director, I believe, that I was dealing with. But he says, it's not a problem. Come in tomorrow, bring your debit card. We could do it over the phone, but it costs us a lot of money to process it over the phone, so I'd rather we did it tomorrow. So come in tomorrow with your debit card, and we'll do it on your debit card. If there's a problem with your debit card and it won't go through tomorrow, we'll let you take the bike anyway, and you can just sort out paying us sometime in the next week. I thought, now that is service. I've never heard of anyone else who would consider the idea of you can take a vehicle away that you haven't paid for. So I think that's yeah, that's great service, and definitely needs shouting out. That was a chap called Andy. Thank you very much, Andy. Now I thought, I'm not having that, so I went to the bank yesterday lunchtime and I said, look, I'm going in to buy this bike. I've been trying to do these transfers and have not been working. I want to make sure tomorrow that when I pay by debit card that it definitely gets through. So can we do something to make sure it's not going to be blocked as a suspicious transaction or anything like that? Because I've had that in the past. I was buying a car and it was about £2,000 I owed on this car. Tried to pay it on my debit card and it got rejected, even though I had the money. And I ended up having to ring the bank then so that they would let that money go through. So I thought, I don't want that to happen tomorrow. Anyway, I went to the bank and they said, all right, well, tell you what, we'll just do the transfer for you now and we'll make sure it gets there in time for the picking up of the bike. So I went in with a little trepidation this morning, although knowing that he'd already said I could take it anywhere, there wasn't much, and said, look, this is what's happened, and he says, I'll log into the computer and have a look, and there was the money. So all was good in the end. So all I've been relieved of today in terms of money is road tax for this bike. So, but yeah, and I'm now on my new bike and it's really exciting. I'm headed off now to find Mrs. C. Her father brought me in his car to come and pick up the bike. Mrs. C did pass a test a while back. Those of you who've watched my videos for a while will know that, but turns out she absolutely hates driving. And over the next couple of years after passing a test, I think she drove the car once and she just hates it. So in the end we took her off the insurance. If we ever need it, if I ever have a motocross accident again, which isn't going to happen because I'm not going to do it, but if I ever have a motocross accident again and need somebody to drive me home, then you know, maybe we'll just insure her for the day. So yeah, so Mr. C, no, not Mr. C, Mr. B, he is actually Mr. C's father, brought me here. Mrs. C's taking them out for a cup of coffee and a bun now, so I'm going to go and see if I can find them, join them for a cup of coffee and say thank you again. So one more thank you for watching everyone. Ride safe, and I'll talk to you all again soon.